I thought about just being like, hey, you want to sew a mask? Come and watch this video. But then I was just like, that's just too aggressive, so just watch the video. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would share with you how to sew a mask. Now this video you will see that I use a lot the serger. If you do not have a serger, you can still follow the tutorial. It's basically still the same steps, just with a sewing machine. And I do plan on making a video as well with the sewing machine only. While these masks will not protect you 100%, they will, as long as you use a filter, something in between the two pieces of fabric, they will be better than nothing. I am not a professional. I'm not saying this is going to protect you and not allow you to get sick at any point. That's not what I'm here to do. This is simply to show you how to sew your own mask, and yes. So, with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be using this pattern. I did find this online for free. Please do make sure that you read the note down below here, as I do request that you only use it for personal use. We're going to need some scissors to cut out the pattern. You are going to be following the green line. You're going to need something to cut your fabric with. Now if you don't have one of these, you can find these online or just basically at any store. The fabric I have here is 100% cotton, which what most people were using. I do have a layer of beautiful lace underneath I'm going to be adding to my mask. You need either pins or clips. It's not absolutely necessary, but if you want to keep your fabric in place and not have to deal with the fabric possibly shifting or moving, this will be helpful. And I'm also going to be using today the serger. After you have printed out your pattern, what you want to make sure is that this is actually measuring correctly to the right scale. They do offer this down here where you want to make sure that it does measure out to 2 inches. You're going to take a solid ruler, you're going to place it right above, and you want to make sure that it does equal out to the 2. If that is correct, you can go ahead and proceed with the next step, which will be cutting out the pattern. After the pattern's been cut, this is what it looks like. This is the inner piece, this is the outer piece. Now this is the one for the pocket. If you want the one without the pocket, they do offer different links for downloading those patterns. You'll see them on their website. Now as I mentioned, I already have my mask pre-cut. I was actually working on this prior to making this video. What you're going to do is you're going to lay this piece on top of the fabric you're going to be cutting. And you're going to take your cutter, and I suggest that you do get one of these. It's actually a lot easier to cut fabric with this. You're going to lay this on top of the fabric, and you're just going to go around all the way around here. Once you have your fabric cut, you're going to need 2 pieces per each one. So you're going to do one facing this way, and then you're going to do the other one facing this way. Now you can also fold your fabric, and when you fold your fabric, you can put the S on top and then cut right along, and then you have 2 pieces, and then you just do 1 run. Depending how you cut your fabric, that's what the next step is going to need to be. Now if you folded your fabric on top of one another like this, where the print was facing each other, and you just cut your pattern out, you won't need to do anything else other than just put clips or pins right here. If you cut your fabric individually, or you like to add an extra layer of something in between, you will need to go ahead and put these together. Now this is very easy, very simple. What you're going to do is, and I will be adding a little bit of lace on top of mine, you're going to put this right on top, and you're going to make sure to align them. Now once you have them aligned, now a lot of people, what they do is they put an inner layer in between, either on this one or this one. That's going to go in. It's going to act as an extra layer or almost as a filter. What you're going to do is, if you want this to be on the outer side, this needs to be inside. Whatever you want underneath the front, what people are going to see, what's going to be on the outer side, you need to have that be in the inside, and whatever extra layer needs to be on the back side behind this one. Once you have that done, you're going to put this together. Now again, I have both. I have pins or clips. I've been using clips because they're just easier and faster. You're just going to go ahead and clip this together. Now, as for this one here, this is the outer piece. This is what you're gonna see on the outside. Now with this, you have to be careful when you're stacking it on top of one another. You don't want the fabric to shift too much. So I'm going to take this one and I'm gonna place it right on top. And now I'm just gonna use clips. Now this is the only spot I add clips for right now, because the first thing we're going to be doing is going along this side first. Now once we're done with that side, we're going to go ahead and, for example, if you're doing the pocket, I actually like to serge around the side here to make sure that gives it a nice clean finish. This is what the mask looked like so far. I went ahead and serged the seams right here. I also did the same thing for this one here, as I'm going to be creating a pocket opening. And if I were to turn this inside out, turn it the other way, this is what the mask is looking like so far. Now once you have it all done, it's going to look a lot better. Now you see that I have this folded here. Now I am creating like a nice cleaned look for the pocket. So all I did was I ran the serger through the end. I folded this to a desirable size that I wanted. Now if you go to their website, you see that they have a different measurement for that. Now you're welcome to follow that if you would like, but I just wanted a little bit folded in to where it's enough. Now at the time, you couldn't really find filters or anything out there, so coffee filters were really good, especially the Walmart ones. You actually fold them in half and they fit perfectly in these. Now the reason being I like this is because the way I fold this, it will keep the coffee filter in and it actually won't stick out. I'm going to go ahead and take this over to a sewing machine and I'm going to run over a straight stitch here. Once that's done, we're actually going to come back and put these two together. Now that I have gone over with the sewing machine and put a stitch right here, that just creates a nice clean casing. I'm going to go ahead and put the masks together. So you're going to need to open them. You're going to leave this one facing this way. You're going to open this one as well. So this is what they look like right now. Next, you're going to take and turn. It doesn't matter which one. I like doing the shorter one first. You take and you put them on top. And you're going to want to align the centers together. And I like folding these two pieces the opposite way from one another, so it allows you to go ahead when you're serging or sewing to have a nice clean smooth stitch right here instead of being so bumpy and having to fight with the machine to get over this. And you're just going to take and going to pin all over the edges on this. You're going to do the same thing at the bottom. You're going to grab these, turn them the opposite way from one another, and you're going to put it together and you're going to go ahead and pin this. And then I'm going to show you what the mask is going to look like once I have it all pinned. So it's going to look something like this, similar enough, but just with clips at the top. Okay, now I have the spin clip. This is what it looks like. If you notice, I still have these here. I do that on purpose because what I want to do is, once I'm actually going over this here, I'm going to pull these down and make sure that the next serger stitch comes through here. It secures this in place, and then I'm actually going to cut this. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and get the serger ready again. I'm going to move it in place, and we're going to go ahead and meet over there. So this is what the mask is looking like right now. I went ahead and serged both ends right here. So now these two pieces of fabric are together. I cleaned up all the tails, so now you have a nice clean finish. And I went ahead and straight stitched this so you can have a nice clean pocket opening. I'm going to turn this inside out so you can see what the mask looks like so far. So far this is what it looks like. Next, I actually recommend that you top stitch your mask. Some people like to skip that step. I do think it does help with the performance of it and how it actually shapes out at the end. But this is what it's looking like. Now I'm going to use the clips again and make sure that these are all nice and out. And I'm going to top stitch. this is what it looks like after I put some of the clips in place. You can see now that it's starting to take shape, and you can see how much nicer it looks once you have at least the clips on there. So once you top stitch, it's going to look a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and get the sewing machine ready real quick, and we're going to take care of that. So something I forgot to mention was that when you're going to top stitch, you want to grab this and fold that along the edge right there, so it's actually evened with this, and you're just going to kind of gently hold it in place. And while keeping that little edge folded, you're actually going to top stitch starting at the very end. Now at the beginning and end of every time you start sewing, you want to make sure you secure your stitches by going back and forth a couple of times, and that's going to secure that in place. So I went ahead and did the top stitching already, as you got to see in that little portion of it. Now I went on to along the top and on the bottom. Now you see that the mask actually has a better shape to it. It actually is going to stay in place, and this is not going to shift, and this actually looks a lot less thicker and nicer, and it's going to be a lot more comfortable. Now this is what the inside looks like. We have the pocket already created, so you can go ahead and slide it in any filters or anything you want to use on the inside. I will say again, the Walmart coffee filters fit in here perfectly. Now this is what the back looks like. Here's the option that you're going to have if you want to do elastic, or depending on what you're doing, this is what's going to happen to this here. Now with that being said, I actually ran out of elastic, shoelaces were sold out, and I had ribbon, which my mother gave me. And I also have fabric scrap pieces that kind of look like this. And they are soft, comfortable, and very stretchy. So I'm going to be using that on one of these. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is what the mask is looking like. And I have the clips here because I went ahead and roll this in. So literally all you do is you fold this in half, fold it again, grab a clip, put it there, and then you're going to put a straight stitch right through here, and your mask will be done. So let's go ahead and head back to the sewing machine and put our stitches here on the ends, and let's see the finished product. To the end of this video. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for watching. Second of all, yes, my hair is a mess because I literally just threw it up so I can show you what the mask looks like when I have it on. And third of all, the mask is done. So this is what the mask looks like so far. We have reached the end. This is what the finished mask looks like. This is the other side where you have the inner part, you have the pocket, and I don't remember if I did an up close of this, but you do have the top stitching done right here for this, which created the casing. To put this on is super easy. All you gotta do is just slide it on. So if you like this method, you can do it that way, or you can do it where you can just tie it at the top and at the bottom. It's up to you, your preference, how you like it. But otherwise, you put it on like this. There's two ways to do this. Either way, I think it works. You can simply just pull on this, and then you can adjust this a little bit later, or you can simply grab by the side here and pull on this, and then you can grab this and go ahead and tie it at the back. Now you can tie it to where it goes up if you do it long enough and it meets the other one up here, or you can just simply tie it in the back here. And this is what the mask looks like when you have it on. Now, again, you need to put something inside in the pocket area in here. I'm still going with the coffee filters because they work so well. It actually makes it to where almost nothing can come through, because when you blow on it, you put the coffee filter on it and you blow on it, you can actually feel the difference on it. It does get very hot. Either way, with other masks, it does get hot as well. Don't mind me. And this is what it looks like. So I like to adjust this to where it sits a little more higher. And the purpose of that is it leaves my ears alone, and I don't have my ears irritated or hurting on any of that. It actually leaves them alone. This is actually nice and fitting. This is very stretchy, so it's not hurting me, and it's actually nice and sealed through here. Now if you want to add something in here to fully close it here, you can. In all honesty, it's like nice and fitting through here, and once it has a coffee filter in it, you feel like you're suffocating anyways. But we're not used to this, but this is what we're doing right now. This is what it looks like. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and let me know. If you have any questions as well, you can comment down below. For now, I'm going to take this off because it just feels funny. I'm inside the house. Probably going to end up using this in a minute because I do have to go get something. But yeah. Alright. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having a great day. I am, however, going to go finish off my to-do list and what the things I need to get done. If you have any questions, again, just leave them down below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm hoping to do the next video, which would be again on another mask, but that time I'm going to be doing just using a sewing machine. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. See you another day.